All right, so here we are at EP 300. I cannot believe I made it this far. Honestly, if you had told me back 10 years ago when I started making these guitar instructional videos that I would have made it to all the way up to less than 300, and actually I've made more than 300, but since I started formally labeling them, I would have never believed that. I just was so insecure when I started this. I was just watching some of the first videos I did. Every now and then I like to just go back just to remind myself how far things have progressed. But I was watching some of the earlier videos and it was so awkward. I was cringing so bad watching myself and how awkward and insecure I was when I was doing this. I wasn't sure if I was qualified. I wasn't sure if people would like them. And so I started with just a very modest number of lessons I wanted to put together for a basic course. And they were so bad, but people supported me through the whole thing. I still look back and people left nice comments even back then. I'm always amazed by that. And so anyway, I'm still insecure, by the way. I don't think that I'm like cocky about it. I'm not. Every time I hit the record button, I always get like nervous. But I have progressed and I've become a little more comfortable. And the only way that that's been possible is because of you. And that's what I wanted to create this video for, was to say, even though this is a milestone for me personally to get to 300, I could have never done it without the ActiveMelody community. And it's all of the thumbs ups, it's the comments, it's all of that feedback that made this possible. I would have stopped doing this years ago if I had just been creating videos and not had any feedback. I would have doubted myself and I would have stopped doing it. But every time I open my email, I get all these emails, and it feels like a big hug from a virtual community. I just wanted to say thank you. And so normally I create a video every week. I do that. I've been doing it for years. When I got to EP 200, that was 100. Wow, that's already been over almost 2 years ago. I took the week off, and I'm taking the week off this week. So I'm not making a big lesson, but I am making a micro lesson. So some of you aren't going to know what a micro lesson is. That's something I started a few years ago. And micro lessons are really good lessons. They're just not the entire song that you would normally learn. It's just like a little piece of something. But it's a great way to learn because it's more digestible, I guess is probably the best way to say it. So I created a new lesson. So you can go to the ActiveMelody micro lessons section. That's activemelody.com/micro. There's also a little banner on the lessons page, and look for ML056. That's the new micro lesson. It's a really cool blues lesson where I show you how to play some blues chords in different voicings. There's some fill licks and some really useful information. It works on an acoustic or electric guitar. You're going to love the lesson. So check that out, ML056. And also, I just wanted to mention I am going to revive micro lessons. I had a lot of emails from people when I decided to stop doing them. And the reason I stopped doing them, by the way, is just because it was so much work to try and do a micro lesson and a macro lesson in the same week. It was just like, it was overwhelming. So I'm not going to do them every week, but I did want to bring them back because there's enough interest in them, and I had started something that was pretty cool. So probably once a month I'll do them. And I'm not really sure. They're not on a schedule. I'm just going to kind of randomly surprise you with them. And if you're not on my email list, make sure you get on it because I will be emailing them out as I do them. But anyway, micro lessons are back. In addition to that, I've got these support videos. And so that's a whole other series of videos that I've started. I've already done a couple of them and put them out on YouTube and Facebook. And I will be putting those on the website as well, on the ActiveMelody website. I'm just going to carve out a section on the site. But those are designed to be encouraging and motivational. It's not necessarily me with a guitar showing you a skill or a lick or anything. It's more about me talking into a camera like this and giving you some encouragement. When you're learning to play a new instrument, a lot of it, like probably half of it at least, is psychological. There's a lot that goes on there with your emotions and with just your own, you'll have self-doubt. There'll be times where you're going to feel stuck. You're going to feel like you're not sure if you're making progress. And it's just a lot of that goes on when you're learning to play. And so I wanted to create a video to help you kind of get past some of that. And know that you're not alone, that everybody feels it. And so that's what that series is. And in addition to that, I'm going to be reading some emails. I've never done that before, but reading emails and comments. I get a lot of repeat questions from people. And that's getting into like where people ask theory questions or whatever the information is. And that will give me an outlet to be able to respond to that in a video, and that way everybody can benefit from the answer as opposed to me just emailing that person back. So be on the lookout for those. Those are things that are coming. I did want to mention that. I'm also working on some courses. I'm revising the beginner course and the blues lead course. Those need a facelift. And then there's some additional courses. There's a fingerstyle course and a rhythm course that are coming as well. So those are all things to look forward to. So that's what I have for this week. I can't wait for the next 100 lessons. I'm just as excited about creating those as I was the first 200. So I don't have a master plan. People always ask that, like, do I outline what I'm going to do? I don't know. I don't know week to week. That way it keeps it fun for me, keeps it interesting, and I can also pivot. I can listen to your feedback, and when people say, dude, you've done enough blues stuff, or enough of the country, I can kind of change the course and react to that. So I just letting you know, I do listen to what you say. So thank you again. Thank you to everybody. A big hug from ActiveMelody. Can't wait for the next 100.